Hi everyone, it's cards by Rachel for ScrapDiva Designs. Look, this is the one I made off camera. It's a baby rattle, rammelaar in Dutch, and it is so cute. I made it a double shaker by adding the shaker bow #1, and I used the baby words #1, and I popped them up on some foam and then in double shakes, and I turned it into a shape card. Today we'll make a normal card, so let's get started. So we will start with our little baby rattle here and cut out some components. I use this biggest die and cut it out of a dark blue. Then I use the stitched one and the smallest one to create, the stitched one and this one to create a shaker frame right here. We can layer that. Then it also cuts out this inside piece, of course, so we have that all ready to go. And then the handle I cut out of some light blue paper, and this decorative piece. You have got lots of options. On the other one I use this. You get a heart, a bow that can go right here. Got this piece, a heart, lots of options, but this time I went for this sort of bands all over it, so I got that. Then from the Sweet Dreams set, no, not Sweet Dreams, Baby Dreams, sorry, I made this, which will plop right here this time, and I used the baby words #1 again to cut out some welcome baby boy. Not sure if we can use everything on our card, but I have them ready to go, so we'll kind of see how we will go about it, okay? Well, let's get started, you guys. As always, the first thing I want to do with die cut cards is shade my die cut pieces. I just love the dimension it gives as always. So we are going to start with some broken china, distress oxide here. And I shade our little handle and our decorative piece. I will later go over it with a little bit of chipped sapphire. Here I cut a piece that is 4 1/4 by 7 1/4 inch. And my card base will be 4.5 by 7.5 inch. So we have a a small white layer. Here I'm using broken china to go over this pretty hot foil pattern paper from my stash. It has already a star background hot foil onto it, so makes it nice and easy. Here I'm pulling in that chipped sapphire and going over the light blue a little bit as well, because I felt like the broken china wasn't quite dark enough. So yeah, we'll use that. Here I'm trying to use it on this darker blue piece, but it's not showing up as much as I hoped. So I'm gonna go with some black Suit Distress ink on the sides to give it some nice shading. This is my first create something YouTube video using ScrapDiva Designs. I did do a product share already this week, but there will be more videos, you guys. I'm so excited to be a guest designer. I absolutely love these dies. If you guys follow me for longer, you know I love die cut cards. So this is such a great company. So be sure to check them out. As always, all the products used will be linked down below. And Carry Stamps gives you 10% discount on ScrapDiva Design. So I will make sure to put that in the description box as well. You can see I layered that piece with a gold hot foil on my card base, and I'm now gonna use the base piece of our baby rattle here, and I'm just gonna line it up sort of in the middle there. And this fills up our card base nicely, but it leaves quite a bit of space for that pretty hot foil paper I found. So yeah, I really love this design, especially since we used the moon from the Baby Dream set. I just thought this starry sky background would look very good. I'm just holding that shaker window in place basically and laying in this background piece of it. I rubbed it quite a few times because it will be a shaker, so I want that paper to be nice and secure with no open edges basically. I aligned our window here with some double-sided tape, and I'm going to use my bone folder to secure the acetate onto it very well. And then I'm just going to cut around it. You could die cut a piece of acetate if you have acetate and a machine that works good for cutting acetate. My die cutting machine, for some reason, never wants to cut it right. So I'm just using my scissors here to cut it into shape. Maybe it's my brand of acetate I use, I'm not sure, but for me it doesn't work that well. Here you can see that decorative piece that we can attach. I am going to use some double-sided tape again, because it works nice on acetate, and I will also add a little bit of liquid glue. I always like to, you know, be extra with my adhesive and use and the liquid and a double-sided tape. But hey, you do you as always, you guys. You could also pop this up with foam, would give it some nice dimension, but because we're gonna use that over the moon sentiment die, I was like, yeah, that already gives it a lot of dimension, so I think we're good. Here I'm using some foam strips, and I'm just gonna place it all around here. I do like to take off both, or well, the backing paper basically, because that makes it easier to curve it into the shape you would like. You could also cut the frame 7 times or use some chipboard foam and cut that. This time I decided to go with the foam strips method. I think I will do the rest of it off camera, but here you will have an idea of where it will go. And we also need to make sure we cover up that bottom part. I'm gonna do that here because we want it to be the same height and not have a weird like height difference between our shaker window and the handle of our baby rattle here. Isn't this adorable? I love the shaped card as well. I did off camera. It's just, I always love a shaped card. And if you can, and I love shakers. If you've been following me for a while, you know this. So shaped card and a shaker in one is just a very plus side for me. Here I'm using some anti-static powder around the edges on the inside of the foam because it does have a little bit of stickiness. I always feel like this helps to get rid of that and make your shaker shake extra well. Here I'm just using some dark, medium and light blue and some gold sequins from my stash, and I'm just gonna fill up that window quite nicely and have a bit of a fight with it because they kept popping out of it. You will see happen here. And then I tried to lay it flat and they pop out again. So yeah, it wasn't working with me, but hey, we'll make do. And again, double adhesive, you guys. So, and our foam strips and a little bit of liquid glue, both, well, 2 reasons. Like, it gives you some wiggle room to line things up straight, and it is some extra securement, especially with shakers. I like to do that with interactive dies quite often, use both of them. So we're just gonna line it up. You do see that my foam tape on the bottom there is a little bit visible. I didn't like stick it down far enough, but we will be using this over the moon sentiments. You saw me check if it would, you know, be covered up by it, and it will. So yeah, we're all good there. Otherwise I would have sort of need to readjust that. Here you can see me having a play with these baby words number 1 to see where I want them. I kind of want this welcome baby boy, but I felt like it will cover up too much of the rattle if we use all 3. So in the end, I believe I decided on baby boy. Well, not I believe, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think this way the rattle is a little bit more visible still, and I could just save that welcome for another project. Here I'm using some of those foam strips on the side because it does overlap the baby rattle, and again, we don't want height differences and we want it nice and secure, so I'm just attaching that. Here I put it a little bit too much to the inside because it couldn't go to the exact spot I wanted it, so I'm just gonna readjust that here. And this way it will just be nice and secure, you guys, and have the same height. I'm gonna do some on the star, and I believe later I do a strip on the top star that is kind of going into the rattle as well, because it wasn't that secure. So, you know, I don't want my shaker. I'm always scared when I send a shaker card in the mail that it will get bent or like it will start leaking. So I'm trying to do everything I can to not have that happen. But I did have it happen once actually, because like the post office just folded it, and like I don't know what they did with my card, to be honest, but it was all messed up. So I was really sad about that. So yeah, I mean, we do what we can by making it nice and secure, and what the postman or the post office does with it, we have no control over. So I try to let it go. But I do try to make sure that at least I did everything I could to have them not leak when they arrive. Because, you know, someone opens the envelope and there's glitter or sequins everywhere. It's just Not a good feeling. Here you can see me using some foam squares on my baby boy sentiments, and on the boy, the right side of it, I'm gonna do a double layer because you know it will be next to that baby rattle, so we don't have height differences again. Then from that baby boy we can just secure it. I do believe on the top part of the B I add a second foam square later because wasn't secure on our background basically. And well, you guys, I hope you guys are looking forward to many more projects with ScrapDiva Designs. I am really excited about this. I love these dies, and I love some of the more scrapbooky mini album projects that I have in my mind. So we will be doing quite a lot more here. So yeah, I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. If you are, be sure to check out the ScrapDiva Design web shop. I will link it down below. Here you can see a close-up of our shaped card and our card we made on camera today. So, and a little video so you can see it up close. And be sure to check out my Instagram page and the ScrapDiva one as well for more project shares from their design team. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.